Ready for a deep dive into a story that's both heartwarming and inspiring?
Always up for that.
Today, we're going deep into the bond between Shantanu Naidu and Ratan Tata.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows them, right? Everybody's heard the story,
Right.
but we're going beyond the headlines today to figure out the why. Like, what is it about their connection, you know? And I think it starts with this shared passion for animal welfare.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what's so compelling about this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
We get to see the man, the empathy behind the magnate, you know? Mr. Tata.
100%.
It's not just business, it's much more.
Yeah, and you can see it like right away with the story of Motopaws.
Right.
Shantanu's last minute realization is what he calls it.
Yeah.
And it's like something out of a movie. Okay, so picture this. He overhears his colleague talking about almost hitting a stray dog.
Oh, gosh.
And the colleague's like, oh, I swerved at the last second. And that just sparks something in Shantanu, right? Yeah. He realizes that drivers often just can't see these stray dogs until it's too late.
It's true, yeah. Visibility is a huge issue.
And that's where his empathy, that's where it kicks in, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't just feel bad. He's like, I need to find a solution here.
Exactly. Action over just feeling bad.
Yeah, it's not about some grand gesture. It's about practical action. So he creates Motopaws.
What's wrong?
Reflective collars for stray dogs to make them visible at night.
Such a simple solution, but so effective.
And when you think about those early days, it was scrappy. Like, you have to imagine young Shantanu, fresh out of college,
right,
recruiting his friends, convincing a local tailor. He even partners with, motorcycle groups to hand these collars out.
Wow, that's resourcefulness.
I know. Talk about making something out of nothing.
It really speaks to his character, but it also makes you realize something about Mr. Tata.
What's that?
Of all the letters, all the requests he must get.
Yeah.
Something about Shantanu's message really resonated with him.
Yeah.
Out of all the noise.
It's like fate, almost. Like, Shantanu talks about feeling like a speck of dust, you know?
Oh, I bet.
Hesitant to even send that first letter, and yet that simple act leads to an invitation for the entire Motopaws team to Mr. Tata's house.
No way.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And it wasn't just an empty promise. Like, Mr. Tata actually welcomes them into his home.
Wow.
Which, you have to admit, for someone of his stature, is incredibly humbling. It totally dismantles that image of the untouchable business tycoon.
Right. You expect, a handshake, maybe an assistant to the door, but this is different.
And it shows how much he values genuine connection.
Human connection.
Right. And I love this. Shantanu actually compares Mr. Tata to Gandalf.
Oh, that's good. That's a good comparison.
I know. There's this great anecdote in the book where they're watching the Motopaws video.
Okay.
And Mr. Tata says, I hope you haven't shown a dog getting run over. I couldn't bear to see that. And it's just this beautiful picture of his empathy, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how these little moments, they speak volumes.
Yeah.
He could have so easily dismissed that letter, tossed it aside.
Oh, for sure.
But he chooses to engage. Opens his door, literally and figuratively.
Yes.
To this young guy with a passion project.
And that's where this incredible mentorship starts. But it's not your typical CEO protege situation.
Right.
It's something else. It's way more nuanced.
More heartfelt.
Yes. Like when Shantanu's getting ready to apply to Harvard Business School.
Okay.
And he jokes that Mr. Tata's the Harvard reject.
Which, by the way, is an interesting detail in itself, right? He got in.
He got in, yeah.
But chose a different path.
Yeah.
Independent thinking. Forging his own way.
Exactly. But going back to Shantanu.
Yeah.
He's looking for guidance. Nervous about this big step.
Of course. It's Harvard.
I know. And Mr. Tata, instead of sugarcoating it, gives him a dose of reality, says, Harvard never makes any exceptions. That's just how they are.
Wow. Straight shooter.
Right. But it's not about discouraging him. It's about preparing him.
Totally.
Reminding him that his worth isn't tied to an acceptance letter.
Which is so important, especially at that age.
Right. And the thing is, when Shantanu gets rejected, Mr. Tata is there for him. And not with some cheesy pat on the back.
Right.
But with genuine understanding, he reassures him, setbacks are a part of life. Even offers to talk it through. Calls Shantanu like a younger brother.
That's really sweet.
It's so sweet. And it shows how deep their connection really is.
Beyond professional, for sure.
It makes you wonder, had Shantanu gotten into Harvard, would we even be talking about them today?
That's a good question.
Right. But fate or maybe a missed deadline, who knows, leads Shantanu to Cornell.
Cornell. Okay.
And that's where things get really interesting.
I'm ready. Tell me more.
Right.
So Shantanu gets to Ithaca.
Right.
And it's like, picture this Ivy League town, right? Cornell. It's like he stepped onto a movie set. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's a lot to take in.
Oh, absolutely. You can just feel it in his words, that sense of disorientation.
Yeah.
He's excited, of course.
Right.
But there's this, like, undercurrent of longing,
Like,
missing home.
yeah, it's that homesickness.
Yeah. And it's not just the place either.
Or-
It's also being away from family, his girlfriend, Tina, for the first time.
It's like the classic, be careful what you wish for, right?
Oh, totally.
He gets to live the dream at Cornell.
Right.
But inside, it's like he's battling self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Like a fish out of water, almost.
And you see him trying to recreate parts of India in Ithaca, almost like
Oh, interesting.
building a bridge back to his comfort zone,
I'll get it.
So he gets a motorcycle, just like back home.
Okay.
He performs at these open mic nights.
Wow.
He even decorates his apartment to feel more familiar.
That's sweet.
And it's fascinating how these little things become anchors.
Yeah, they ground you.
They help him hold on to who he is in this sea of newness.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
through it all, he's writing to Mr. Tata,
Oh, yeah.
sharing everything, all these experiences, the good and the bad.
Wow.
And it makes you realize that their bond, it's already more than just Motopaws at this point.
It's a real friendship.
Exactly. It's like they have this unspoken agreement
Right.
that it's okay to be vulnerable,
And the amazing thing is, Mr. Tata responds.
He does.
He does. He doesn't brush it off as like, oh, whatever, student stuff.
Yeah.
He engages with it.
Wow.
Asks questions, gives encouragement.
That's amazing. It speaks volumes about the foundation they've built, the trust.
And it's in the middle of all this that their paths cross again.
Really?
Yeah, in New York City.
Okay.
Mr. Tata, always the picture of humility, invites Shantanu to meet him
Where?
at the Pierre,
Okay.
the super luxurious Taj Hotel.
Fancy. I bet Mr. Tata pulled some strings.
You would think, right? But
Yeah.
no, totally the opposite.
Right.
Shantanu actually says that Mr. Tata insisted on being treated like any other guest, never wanted to use his name for special treatment.
That's really cool, actually.
It's such a small detail, but so telling,
Absolutely.
This isn't a guy who needs validation from privilege.
Right.
It's about treating everyone with respect.
I love that.
And it's in this setting, this unexpected little pocket of familiarity in this bustling city,
Okay.
that Shantanu makes a confession.
Oh.
He admits to lying to Mr. Tata about sneaking off to see Tuhina.
Oh, no. She flew in from Mumbai.
Yeah, and you can practically feel the anxiety in his words.
I bet. He's probably terrified of ruining things.
Right. But Mr. Tata's response is amazing.
What do you say?
He just brushes it off. He's like, that's entirely forgivable, my friend.
Wow, that's incredible.
Right. It's like he sees right through the white lie and understands the reason behind it.
He wants to protect their connection.
Exactly. And it's such a powerful lesson in forgiveness.
It really is.
This understanding that even the strongest bonds can handle a few bumps.
Absolutely. Nobody's perfect.
But this whole experience, this brush with secrecy, it sparks something in Shantanu.
Like what?
He starts questioning his path.
In what way?
Like, is the Harvard dream really his? Or is it just something he felt pressure to chase?
Oh, I see.
And maybe, just maybe, this realization was already brewing underneath it all,
Yeah, maybe Cornell was already shifting his perspective.
And then enter Winter.
Who's Winter?
Oh, Winter's the best.
Tell me everything.
Okay, so Winter is this adorable puppy that stumbles into Shantanu's life.
Okay.
And honestly, I defy anyone to read this part of the story without smiling.
I'm already smiling just thinking about it.
So Shantanu sees this ad for these puppies that are up for adoption.
Yeah.
And logically, it makes no sense, right?
As a student, yeah.
He's living in student housing. Not exactly puppy friendly.
Right.
But something about those puppy dog eyes,
They get you every time.
And so he throws caution to the wind.
No way he goes for it.
He gets on his motorcycle.
In Ithaca. In
Yeah.
the winter.
In the middle of winter, rides to meet these puppies. And of course, he falls head over heels for this one named Winter.
Top. That's so cute.
I know. And Winter becomes his everything. Not just a companion.
Yeah.
But like this catalyst for connection.
Oh, how so?
Well, Shantanu talks about how walking Winter actually forced him to come out of his shell. Get to interact with people.
Right. You can't just ignore people when you're walking a puppy.
Exactly. And it helped him actually engage with the Cornell community.
I love that.
Like, this little puppy helped him find his place.
Wow. Winter's a game changer.
He really was. But Winter also caused some trouble.
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, remember, no pets allowed in his building.
Oh, right. Oops.
So he's sneaking Winter in and out, hiding him under his jacket.
No way.
It's hilarious, but also really sweet.
Until they get caught.
Well, they do get caught eventually.
Busted. What'd they do?
They had to find a new place, but it all works out.
Okay, good.
They end up in this charming little country house
Even better.
with a balcony and a forest backdrop.
Perfect for a growing puppy.
Exactly. And Winter becomes a campus celebrity.
Shut up.
I'm serious. Shantanu takes over this group, the Cornell Pets Society.
Okay.
And they even have events where everyone gets to meet Winter.
That's adorable.
And even Mr. Tata gets in on the fun.
He does.
He goes to visit Shantanu and Winter in Ithaca.
No way. That's amazing.
It's so sweet. And then Shantanu graduates.
Okay.
His parents fly in from India. It's this whole thing.
Exciting.
And guess who shows up for dinner?
Mr. Tata.
Mr. Tata. Can you imagine?
What a moment. What was it like?
It sounds like it was so lovely. Mr. Tata having a home-cooked meal with Shantanu's family. He even asks for seconds of Amma's amras.
What's that?
It's this delicious mango pulp that his mom had brought all the way from India.
Oh, wow. Special treat. That's amazing.
Right? It's like a seal of approval on this unconventional little family they've created.
I love that. So he's thousands of miles from home, but he's built this incredible support system.
Totally. His family, Winter, Mr. Tata.
Wow, what a crew.
And they're all behind him as he gets ready for the next chapter.
Which is
Back to Mumbai.
full circle.
Full circle. But this time, he's not just going back for a job, right?
Right.
He's going back to this community, this sense of purpose that's way bigger than just, the corporate world.
I love that.
So Shantanu's back in Mumbai,
Okay.
settled into this tiny apartment in Colaba. And it's like right around the corner from Mr. Tata himself.
No way. Seriously.
Yep. And he's like raring to go, ready to dive into this veterinary hospital project for the Tata Trusts.
Of course. After all that, he's got to be full of ideas.
Oh, totally. He's got all this experience from Cornell, a fresh perspective, and just this deep desire to make a difference.
And then, boom. Phone call?
Right. Talk about a plot twist. It's Mr. Tata.
What'd he say?
He invites Shantanu to his office.
Oh, wow. Like,
Not the trust's office. No.
like his office.
His office. Chairman's office.
No way. That's huge.
Yeah. Talk about a game changer. Shantanu even says, he's like, I feel like I'm now enlisted in a little piece of history.
I get it. He's gone from pitching Motopaws
Right.
to being in the inner circle.
Exactly. Seeing how it all works up close.
He was nervous.
Oh, for sure. And talk about being thrown in the deep end, right?
Yeah.
No fancy orientation, no onboarding.
Oop, just jump right in.
First assignment, meeting with a shipping industry startup
Ooh, high stakes.
alongside Mr. Tata.
Trial by fire. I love it.
Talk about on-the-job learning.
So what was he doing? Like day to day?
Oh, it was all over the map, right? 1 minute, he's analyzing investment proposal.
Okay.
The next, he's got to go find tick powder for Mr. Tata's dogs.
Seriously.
I'm telling you, crash course in the unexpected.
That's hilarious, but also, like, what a vote of confidence from Mr. Tata.
Totally. It wasn't just delegating. It was
Word.
trust. He knew Shantanu would rise to the occasion.
And you can see their bond in those little moments, too.
Right. Remember that lost letter?
The one Mr. Tata was freaking out about.
Yes. He lost it years ago, and Shantanu, he drops everything.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Days he spends going through archives, determined to find this thing.
You could have been like, whatever, it's just a letter.
But he didn't. He knew it mattered to Mr. Tata.
They really get each other.
And of course, he finds it, tucked away in a misfiled folder.
Yay!
You can picture the look on Mr. Tata's face, right? Relief, gratitude.
It's those little gestures that mean the most.
Totally. And then, of course, the travel starts.
Ooh, adventures.
It begins with Mr. Tata's birthday. They go to Hyderabad, and suddenly it's a tradition. These two sharing breakfast in their PJs, listening to music.
The best.
Mr. Tata even calls Shantanu Twinkle Toes.
Shut up. That's adorable.
Right. And there's this moment at a Cornell reunion.
Okay.
Mr. Tata's surrounded by all these former classmates.
Right.
And he turns to Shantanu and goes, I really don't remember anyone.
Oh my gosh, I love him.
Right. It's like out of everyone.
He chooses Shantanu.
Yes. It's amazing. Like, their journeys come full circle.
From feeling lost at Cornell
Right.
to being Mr. Tata's +1.
I know. But it wasn't always perfect, of course.
Oh, for sure not.
Like that time in LA when Shantanu wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
His work suffered, and you see Mr. Tata's kind of stern side come out.
Makes sense, even with close friends.
Totally. But the fact that they could get through that.
Shows how strong their bond is.
Exactly. And then there's Lily,
Lily. Who's Lily?
the Tata Nano.
Oh, right. I forgot about that part.
So Shantanu decides to buy one.
He did.
One of the last ones ever made.
Wow. Why?
I think it was his way of saying, I see you. I see the heart behind this thing.
Because the Nano wasn't exactly a success story, right?
Not really, no. But Shantanu understood.
The good intentions.
Yeah, even if the world didn't really get it.
And how'd Mr. Tata react?
Oh, he was thrilled. Lit up like a Christmas tree.
I love that. They took it for a spin.
Through Mumbai, yeah. It's such a pure moment.
Sometimes those quiet gestures say it all.
Don't they? And that's kind of the beauty of their story, right?
What is?
It's a testament to this amazing bond that can come from the most unexpected places.
Totally. Stray dogs to soulmates, basically.
I know. They've been through it all, challenged each other, celebrated wins.
It's a reminder that mentorship, friendship, purpose, they can all intertwine.
Absolutely. And you never know where you're going to find those connections.
Keep your heart open, right?
Exactly. Because sometimes the most unlikely encounters lead to the most incredible bonds.
Beautifully said. And I think Mr. Tata summed it up perfectly himself, didn't he?
When he said Shantanu's like a son or younger brother.
Yeah. Right to the heart of it.
I think it gives us all a lot to think about, you know?
For sure. Empathy, mentorship, just human connection.
Especially these days when things feel so divided.
It's a powerful message.
It really is. Thanks for diving into this story with me.
Anytime. Always love a good dose of heartwarming inspiration.
Me too. And hey, listeners, keep an eye out for more incredible deep dives coming soon.